There are moments in life when heaven begins to whisper things that the world can't yet see. When God moves behind the scenes, no human plan can stand against his divine timing. You may have waited long, prayed through tears, and wondered if your story was forgotten, but the angels of the Lord are saying, get ready, because what's about to unfold by this coming October will leave even your enemies speechless. This isn't just about a wedding, it's about a divine fulfillment. A season where promises meet purpose and heaven joins two hearts that were chosen for each other long before the foundations of the earth were laid. What's coming will not just surprise your friends, it will shock everyone who ever doubted what God could do in your life. So open your heart, sit still in faith, because when heaven speaks, everything on earth begins to shift. There are seasons in life when you feel forgotten, when every prayer you pray seems to echo back without an answer. You look at the days turning into months and wonder, Lord, when? But what you must understand is that heaven never runs on human time. God's timing is not delayed, it's divine. When he says it will happen, it must happen. Even the angels know there is a moment marked on heaven's calendar, a season appointed by the Father when everything you've been waiting for will come together in perfect harmony. That time, child of God, is approaching swiftly. You've been through the pain of waiting because God was preparing you for something greater than what you had in mind. You are not being punished by delay, you are being positioned for destiny. There is a deep purpose behind every pause. If God had given you what you wanted too early, it might have destroyed you. If he had opened that door before you were ready, you might have walked through it without the strength to stand. But now, through the waiting, through the tears, through the tests, he has built something within you. Character, faith, discernment, and wisdom. These are the very foundations upon which your future marriage will stand. Heaven's timing is not just about aligning circumstances, it's about aligning hearts. The angels have been working, not only in your life, but also in the life of the one chosen for you. Both of you had to walk through your own wilderness, so you could emerge refined and ready for each other. You see, when God writes a love story, he doesn't rush the ink. Every chapter has purpose. Every silence is shaping. Every unanswered prayer is guiding. He knows how to turn what looks like delay into divine design. That's why when this miracle unfolds by October, it will be so beautiful that you'll understand why it couldn't have come any sooner. Heaven's timing doesn't fail, it fulfills. The angels are already rejoicing because they know the season of preparation is turning into the season of manifestation. There were moments you wanted to give up, moments you thought the promise had expired, but God says, I was never late. I was right on time. He was protecting you from heartbreaks that looked good but weren't holy. He was shielding you from people who smiled at you but weren't sent by him. You cried over what left, not realizing heaven was making room for what was meant to stay. Every no you faced was a setup for a better yes. That's the mystery of divine timing. It often disguises blessings in what feels like loss. But those who trust God through the waiting will always see the reward of obedience. By the time October arrives, you will look back and realize that everything, every disappointment, every delay, every detour was part of a greater orchestration. God was synchronizing two destinies to meet at the right moment in the right place for the right purpose. The angels know that when God moves, he moves suddenly, but never prematurely. So keep standing in faith, because your waiting season has not been wasted. It has been sacred. It has been necessary. It has been divine. Heaven has not forgotten you. Heaven has been preparing you. And now the hour is near when you will see with your eyes what your heart has long believed. There were times when you felt invisible, like no one truly saw you or understood the depth of your heart. You watched others find love, move forward, and celebrate milestones while you remained in the waiting, wondering if God had passed you by. But heaven wants you to know you were never rejected, you were protected. What you saw as loneliness was actually God's shelter. What felt like isolation was His preservation. He hid you not because you were unworthy, but because you were too valuable to be handled carelessly. When something is precious, heaven covers it until the right time and the right person is ready to receive it with reverence. Every season of being hidden had purpose. God was keeping you from distractions that could have destroyed your destiny. There were people who looked right, sounded right, even prayed right, but their intentions were not pure. Heaven saw what you could not see, and so the angels intervened. They closed doors that you tried to force open. They disrupted relationships that seemed promising but were never part of God's eternal plan. You may have cried when things ended, but what you didn't know was that God was whispering to His angels, "Keep them covered, keep them safe. Their story isn't ready to be revealed yet." You weren't missing out. You were being molded. While others were rushing into relationships for attention or validation, God was teaching you how to find fulfillment in His presence alone. He was shaping you into someone who doesn't just desire love, but understands its sacredness. Every moment of silence, every unanswered message, every closed chapter, it was heaven's way of saying, "Wait, I'm preparing something holy." You weren't hidden to be forgotten, you were hidden to be found by the right one. The one God has chosen for you has also walked through their own season of refining. They too have felt unseen, misunderstood, and set apart. The same God who hid you was hiding them. Both of you have been walking separate roads that are now about to converge under divine timing. And when you meet, it won't take long to recognize the hand of God on your union. Your spirits will connect because both have been refined in fire and faith. The purity of your waiting will make the promise shine brighter than you ever imagined. There is something sacred about being chosen by God. When He sets you apart, He also sets a standard around your life. That's why certain relationships never lasted. They couldn't reach the level of your calling. You were not meant to settle. You were meant to shine. The angels shielded your heart so that when love finally arrives, you'll know it's not counterfeit. You'll know it's heaven sent because it will carry peace, not confusion, purpose, not distraction. God's protection often feels like rejection to the impatient heart. But when your eyes are opened, you realize He was writing a story you couldn't yet read. Every time you felt alone, His Spirit was near, whispering, "Trust me." Every heartbreak was a redirection, every delay a design. You were never behind. You were being aligned. The hiding place was not your prison, it was your preparation room. And soon, when the covering lifts, the world will see what heaven has been shaping in secret. By October, that which was hidden will be revealed. The love that was preserved will finally come into view. It will be so divine that everyone will know this could only be the work of God. The same people who wondered why nothing ever worked out for you will see that you were never unlucky. You were chosen. You were not forgotten. You were favored. Heaven didn't let you settle for less because it was saving you for its best. And when that moment comes, when the one God prepared stands before you, your heart will know why you had to wait. You'll see that being hidden was never a curse. It was the greatest blessing of all. There are moments in life when everything seems ordinary, yet heaven is quietly setting the stage for something extraordinary. The angels are already moving, preparing divine appointments that you can't yet see. You may be going about your daily routine, unaware that God is aligning time, people, and places for a supernatural encounter. What will seem like coincidence to others will be divine orchestration from above. The truth is, God doesn't need your permission to bless you. He just needs your readiness to receive it. And when the appointed moment comes, it will happen suddenly, in a way that will leave no doubt that heaven's hand is at work. You've walked through seasons of waiting and wondering, questioning why things haven't aligned sooner. But divine encounters never arrive early. They appear exactly when your heart and the other person's heart are both prepared. You couldn't have met them before now because both of you were being refined. The experiences, the lessons, the tears, all of them were necessary so that when the two paths finally meet, the foundation will be strong enough to sustain what God is about to build. Heaven never rushes what it plans to last forever. The angels have been watching, guiding, and protecting you, ensuring that you don't miss your appointed moment. When it happens, it won't be dramatic or staged. It might be a simple meeting, a message, or a reconnection that begins quietly. But there will be a peace about it, a knowing in your spirit that this isn't chance, it's covenant. You'll sense it deep within you because divine encounters carry heaven's signature: clarity, calmness, and confirmation. There won't be striving, no games, no confusion. Everything will align naturally because it's supernaturally timed. The angels have already gone before you to prepare hearts, soften minds, and open doors that no human effort could unlock. Many times we expect miracles to come with noise and spectacle, but God often moves in silence. He works through the smallest details, weaving them together until they form a masterpiece of destiny. You might meet this person in a way that feels completely unexpected, a place you didn't plan to go, a conversation you didn't intend to have, a connection you thought was impossible. Yet as you look back, you'll see that every step was guided. What felt random was actually prophetic. The same God who aligned the stars and parted the seas is aligning this moment for you, and when it arrives, it will feel both sudden and sacred. The angels are whispering, "Get ready." They see the unfolding of God's plan in your life. They see the timing that's been set in motion. You may not feel it yet, but the spiritual realm is alive with movement. Divine appointments are being arranged, introductions are being planned, and paths that once seemed parallel are now beginning to cross. Heaven has been working while you've been waiting, and now the manifestation is near. What took years to pray for will unfold in days, even moments, when the